Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and sobering: the Chernobyl disaster. Strap in, because we're about to explore the causes and far-reaching consequences of this catastrophic event that reshaped our world's understanding of nuclear energy. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss any of our deep dives into history. The year was 1986, and the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Pripyat, Ukraine, was set to conduct a routine safety test. Little did anyone know that this test would lead to one of the most devastating nuclear accidents in history. This was the site of the RBMK reactor, a Soviet-designed graphite-moderated reactor that was chosen for its high power output. The disaster's timeline is like a gripping thriller, so grab your popcorn as we walk through the events that culminated in this disaster. We're talking about a city built around a nuclear power plant. Pripyat was a vibrant Soviet city, bustling with life and optimism, but it would soon become ground zero for an unthinkable catastrophe. The Chernobyl disaster is a tale of innovation gone awry, of the confluence of human error and technical flaws that unleashed a nightmare. So let's peel back the layers and understand how this disaster unfolded. Okay, let's talk about what went wrong. The RBMK reactor had an inherent flaw known as the positive void coefficient, where as coolant turned into steam, reactivity increased. Combine that with control rods tipped with graphite, and you've got a dangerous cocktail. During the safety test, operators withdrew too many control rods, unknowingly pushing the reactor into a dangerous zone. But it wasn't just technical factors. Human error played a pivotal role too. Miscommunications and a lack of proper training exacerbated the situation. Imagine being in the control room that night, with alarms blaring and a reactor on the brink of disaster. Decisions had to be made in the blink of an eye. The pressure was unimaginable, and unfortunately, those decisions led to the unthinkable. Then, it happened. The reactor exploded, releasing a plume of radioactive material into the atmosphere. The immediate response was chaotic, and the plant workers and firefighters who bravely rushed in faced lethal doses of radiation. The nearby city of Pripyat, with its population of nearly 50,000, was evacuated in a matter of hours. Can you imagine leaving everything behind? The explosion released a force equivalent to several tons of TNT, and the impact was felt for miles. The air was thick with fear and uncertainty, as the people of Pripyat fled their homes, never to return. The heroism of the first responders cannot be understated, as they put their lives on the line in a battle against an invisible enemy. The human toll was staggering. Workers and first responders suffered from acute radiation sickness, and the effects of radiation exposure would linger for years. Thyroid cancer rates surged, especially among the young, due to radioactive iodine exposure. But it wasn't just people who suffered. The environment took a hit too. Soil, water bodies, and the local wildlife within the Chernobyl exclusion zone were forever tainted. It's heart-wrenching to think about the lives that were forever changed by this disaster. Families were torn apart, and communities were fractured. The long-term health effects extended beyond physical ailments, as psychological trauma cast a shadow on the survivors' lives. Efforts to contain the disaster were monumental. Engineers hastily constructed the iconic sarcophagus to encase the damaged reactor, preventing further release of radioactive particles. However, this structure was always meant to be temporary. The irony? The exclusion zone, uninhabitable for humans, became a haven for wildlife, showing us the remarkable resilience of nature. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, an eerie landscape frozen in time, is now an unintended sanctuary for animals. Wolves, deer, and other species roam freely, reclaiming a territory that was once dominated by humans. This unexpected silver lining reminds us that even in the aftermath of a man-made disaster, nature finds a way to heal itself. Chernobyl wasn't just a disaster, it was a wake-up call. The world recognized the dire need for standardized nuclear safety measures. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, rose to prominence, setting global standards for nuclear safety. The disaster showcased the dangers of secrecy and the importance of transparency, cooperation, and above all, a culture of safety. In the wake of Chernobyl, the international community came together to ensure that such a disaster would never happen again. Regulations were tightened, safety protocols were overhauled, and a new era of nuclear accountability was ushered in. The lessons of Chernobyl laid the foundation for safer nuclear energy practices, and the IAEA's role in shaping these practices cannot be overstated. Fast forward to today, and Chernobyl's legacy is still felt. It cast a shadow over nuclear energy, sparking debates about the balance between progress and risk. On the cultural front, Chernobyl inspired countless works of art, literature, and films that grapple with the moral and ethical questions surrounding nuclear power. The disaster's legacy is a testament to the complexity of human innovation and its potential pitfalls. From documentaries to TV series, Chernobyl has captured the imagination of storytellers worldwide. These creative works explore not only the disaster itself, but also the societal and ethical dilemmas it posed. The legacy of Chernobyl is a haunting reminder of the dual nature of scientific progress, one that holds the potential for both great benefit and catastrophic harm. As we reflect on this tragic event, let's remember the lives lost and the lessons learned. It's up to us to ensure that history doesn't repeat itself. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and, of course, subscribe so you won't miss our next video.